receive the punt from Huck, and Davis will pick this one up, come to his right side, and he'll get about a 5-yard return or so before he's forced out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Return number 2, Weston Davis, run out of bounds at the 32.
Ultimately, they will spot it at the 34, where Olathe Northwest will take over. Olathe Northwest has had a couple solid drives this evening, getting deep into Olathe North territory, but have come away with no points. We remain scoreless here in the second quarter. So now the Ravens will look to continue that momentum and hope that it will carry them all the way into the end zone this time. As Koch receives the shotgun snap, hands it off to Dumas. Dumas to the far side, and he will gain, looks about 3 yards for Drew Dumas. So that sets up 2nd and 7 here for the Ravens. Interesting contrast between these. The Northwest Ravens do huddle up. Olathe North has been sticking with that no-huddle offense all year. And Koch flanked on either side, again by Bauman and Dumas. This time he will keep it himself, so up the middle goes Koch, and he will only gain maybe a yard, so that will set up 3rd and 6.
Number 5, Braden Koch. Tackle was made by number 9, Eric Dooley. 3rd down.
A 2-yard gain officially, and that will mark it with 3rd and 5. For 1st down. I formation here, as Koch will keep it on an option, and this time he will pitch it, and that ball is fumbled and recovered almost immediately by Olathe North. Bauman had possession, and he fumbled it. Javon Parrish picked up the fumble. So terrific defensive stand by Olathe North, and they will have their best starting field position by far tonight. They will start inside Olathe Northwest territory at the 39 after the fumble recovery by Javon Parrish. So Kraus lines up in shot. One wide to the right, and he is flanked by Arlen Bruce. Kraus hands it off there to Bruce, who goes right up the gut and stuffed at about the 36-yard line. So a 3-yard gain there for Arlen Bruce, the 4th.
3-yard gain by number 43, Arlen Bruce. Tackle was made by number 58, Jake Wolf. 2nd down, Olathe North.
Same formation here, 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right, and Arlen Bruce, they'll fake the handoff, and Kraus keeps it himself, and he breaks through, and he is down to the 15, almost to the 10-yard line. Terrific run of about 23 yards, 22 yards by Zach. And Olathe North now in business at the Olathe Northwest 12-yard line. Zach Kraus takes the shotgun snap, once again keeps it himself, and he is unable to break out of the arms of number 24, Nick Hagerty. Another big tackle by Hagerty. That's his 3rd big tackle tonight. And that is Olathe North. I know they'd hate to waste this great field position inside the red zone, and now here's a handoff. No, a keep once again by Kraus. Kraus will cut through. He's inside the 10, almost to the 5-yard line. Looked like they'll mark him down at about the 7. So that will set up 3rd and 5 to go.
Tackle was made by number 4, Jackson Butler.
Continues here for Olathe North, and there's Arlen Bruce with the handoff. He cuts to the right. Looks like he's just shy of the 1st down. It'll depend on the spot. He needed just between the 2 and 3 yard line.
4-yard run by number
And it will be a 4th down
Tackle was made
just inside the 4-yard line.
by Olathe.
This brings up 4th and about 2 here for Olathe North. Crucial moment here in the game. Olathe North leaving their offense and taking the snap will be Javon Parrish. Little wildcat. Parrish takes it to the right, cuts it. Looks like he's got plenty enough for the first down to about the 1. So he did get a first down, but he did not get in the end zone. And that will set up Olathe North with 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line.
By number 20, Javon Parrish is good for Olathe North.
Parrish stays in the game, and he is joined in the back. Waiting for the play call to come in. Plenty of time left on the play clock. Parrish looks back again. Now he readies himself for the snap, and he will keep it himself and walk into the end zone. Touchdown for Javon Parrish, and Olathe North is on the board first. They are up 6-0 with an extra point coming with 6:37 left here in the second quarter. After the touchdown run by Javon Parrish, the Olathe North senior. Back now for the extra point is Jacob Large. Sets, Large sends it up, and that is through. And Olathe North now leads 7-0 with 6:37 left in the first quarter or second quarter. Olathe North, after not getting much all night, they had 3 or 4 3-and-outs before that drive, and that resulted in a touchdown. So that makes it 7-0 Olathe North with 6:37 left in the second quarter. You're listening to high school football coverage on 810varsity.com.
Olathe North fans, let's get on our feet.
Back in here at the Olathe District Activities Center, Olathe North leads Olathe Northwest 7-0 after the touchdown by Javon Parrish. I am Adam Dravetta. This is high school football coverage on 810varsity.com. Olathe North senior Jacob Large back to send the kick away. And that kick will bounce into the end zone, so Olathe Northwest will start from their own 20 after the touchback. And if you've been watching and listening all game, you'd be just as surprised as I am that Olathe North was the first team to be able to punch it into the end zone, because Olathe Northwest has accumulated quite a few yards, but they have not been able to bust through. They've had 1 field goal attempt blocked, and they haven't been able to get on the board yet. Olathe North has been struggling most of the evening, but after a big turnover set them up with great field position, they were able to finish it off and get into the end zone and take this 7-0 lead. And now here's Olathe Northwest's Koch, and he will toss it there to Drew Dumas. So Braden Koch to Drew Dumas has been a familiar combination. So 9 here for Olathe Northwest. I formation once again, Koch, and behind him is Bauman and Dumas. Handoff there, and it looks like we had a little movement before the snap. The handoff initially went to Dumas, but the play was blown dead as there was some movement. Looks looks like it will be on Olathe Northwest. False start there on the Ravens, so that will be the Ravens' first penalty of the evening. And a 5-yard penalty will set up 2nd and 14. Shotgun formation here for Braden Koch. He has trips to the far side, one wide to the right, and he will pass it, and that will be into the hands and out. Looked like it was intended for Jack Parks, and Parks had it in his mitts and just dropped it.
Brings the 3rd down, play the Northwest.
So that will bring up 3rd and 14. And as fast as this Olathe North offense moves, if Olathe North's defense is able to get another stop here, North will have plenty of time on offense to perhaps extend this lead. Olathe Northwest has other plans. We're at 5:48 left here in the first half. Koch once again back to pass, and he has a man open, and that is caught. What a pass and catch. That one was caught by Joe Hatsfield. Hatsfield dropped one earlier in the end zone, but he holds that one down all the way up to the 46-yard line. Tremendous pass and catch there from Braden Koch to Joe Hatsfield. May have a penalty because I thought they got that all the way up to the 46-yard line, but they're bringing it back, waiting on a call.
They'll
be holding against Olathe North, and they'll decline that one. So after the long gain on the pass, there's no need to accept that penalty. It was against Olathe North, and they will mark the ball there at the 46-yard line. So there's discussion about whether or not Olathe Northwest would accept the penalty. They declined it, and we'll get 1st and 10 here from their own 46-yard line. Koch there will hand it off to Dumas. Dumas breaks one tackle, gets forward for about 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 here.
Anthony Crawford. 2nd down, Olathe Northwest.
2nd and 8 there for Olathe Northwest. That was by far Olathe Northwest's longest play. 30 on that previous pass from Braden Koch to Joe Hatsfield. Koch lines up under center, I formation with Bauman and Dumas behind him. He's got 2 wide to the far side. He'll take the handoff. Dumas gets the pitch, and he will break one tackle, get to the far side, up the sideline, and he will be short of the 1st down, but into Olathe North territory. Looks like down to about the 46-yard line. And that will set up 3rd and 2 here for Olathe Northwest.
Tackle made by number 9, Eric Dooley. Number 31, James Thomas.
Koch once again in I formation. He has one wide to the left side. Dumas takes the handoff. He is hit and stuffed backwards, so that will be, it will bring up 4th down after the loss of 1.
Brings the 4th down for Olathe Northwest.
So Olathe Northwest is going to punt, leaving Olathe. So Olathe North can extend their lead. They are up 7-0. And Stoker, Devin Stoker of Olathe North, is back to take the punt. Little change in formation here, Olathe North from punt formation, but he ultimately went and ran and was stuffed for a loss of, oh no, beg your pardon, he was able to pass it away. Thought initially he was sacked. Nonetheless, Olathe North will start with great field position at their own 48-yard line after the unsuccessful fake punt there by Olathe Northwest. Zach Kraus readies himself for a shotgun snap. He is flanked to the left by Arlen Bruce. 2 wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. Kraus will tuck it, keep it himself after the fake handoff. He's coming left, and he will only get about 2 yards. And there is a flag down. Right now it's up to the 50-yard line, but we'll see what this flag is all about. Looked like it could have been holding against Olathe North.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
So if that's a spot foul, it should be about 1st and 18 or so. Kraus in shotgun formation, and he will tuck it himself on a quarterback sweep and quarterback draw, I beg your pardon, and he gets forward for about 10 all the way up to the 49-yard line, so that will bring up 2nd and 8. Good run there. Kraus.
That was made number 58. Jake Wolf. 2nd down, Olathe North.
Penalty. Zach Kraus gains back all of those yards and sets them up with 2nd and 8. And here's Arlen Bruce, and Bruce is still on his feet. He spins out of 1 tackle and gets down
Penalty flag on the play.
inside the 40, but there is a penalty. We'll see. But that was a great run there by the freshman, Arlen Bruce IV. Unfortunately, it's looking like the penalty will be against Olathe North. So that effort on Bruce's part will be all for naught. Illegal formation is the call. So that'll be a loss of 5, bringing up 2nd and 13. So Olathe North hurting themselves with penalties has kind of been the story of the night. They do lead 7-0 here over Olathe Northwest, but could be more if not for these penalties. And here's the snap. Kraus will take it on a quarterback draw, cuts up to the middle and now to the right, and he gets up to the 49-yard line.
5-yard gain by number 11, Zach Kraus.
So he gains basically the penalty yards back, but it will set up 3rd and 8. Behind Kraus is Arlen Bruce, and Kraus will look to pass. He throws it to his left, and that is an incomplete pass. Looked like it was intended for Ivan Avila. So 4th and 8. In there to punt, it looks like is Mason Myers. Now they do some wildcat work with Mason Myers. It could be a fake, but he also does punt. He's lined up kind of in a shotgun formation, not quite deep enough that you'd expect the punter to be. And now here he backs up to the 40-yard line, takes the snap, and he will punt it away. As Weston Davis awaits the punt, he will let it fall and roll, and that will get just inside the 10-yard line. So a solid punt there by And they're not using any of their 3 timeouts as the clock now runs under a minute and a half to go. So you'd think Olathe Northwest just kind of trying to run the clock out. Also 3 timeouts for Olathe North if they want to take one and maybe get a chance to score if they're able to get the ball back before half. Dumas here again on the carry. And that gets up to the 15-yard line as we approach 1 minute to go here in the first half of play. Third and 3 here to go as we just now go under a minute. So I'm thinking Olathe Northwest just wants to roll out the clock and head into the locker room down 7-0. They will start the second half with the ball. And now here comes a timeout just at the end of the play clock by Olathe Northwest. So it's their first time out of the half. So I think they're just talking over their options. If they kneel it out here, they will not have to run another play in the half. There are 30 seconds left in the half, and it's 3rd and 3. Play clock is 25 seconds, so yes, they could take, well, if they take
the Olathe Schools athletic teams.
And looks like Koch will be in kneel formation. Oh, he will take it himself to the left. Will kind of scramble, and he breaks forward for a first down and more up to the 38-yard line. So a good run there by Braden Koch. Thought he was brought down after a 20-yard gain.
Tackle was made by number 26, Devin Stoker.
So now they're in the I formation, and the clock stops on the first down before they set the chains. So we'll see what Olathe Northwest has in store. May have had a timeout before the snap. Olathe North called a timeout, wants to reset. Olathe Northwest did have a terrific pass play of about 30 yards earlier this evening from Braden Koch to Joe Hatsfield. So they are capable of launching it deep, but they only have 15 and a half seconds left, and they find themselves at their own 37-yard line. So it would take quite a miraculous play for them to get into the end zone. They do have 2 timeouts left, but you get the feeling they took over the ball with just under 2 minutes left, and so you get the feeling that if they really wanted to go for the end zone, they probably would have used those timeouts a little earlier. Braden Koch is in shotgun formation. He is flanked to the right by Drew Dumas and then to the left by John Bauman. Keeps it himself, and he is back to pass now, and looks like he will just throw it out of bounds. 8 seconds left.
Play number 5 from Braden Koch.
I beg your pardon, he did not pass. He just trying to run out the clock. So officially that will go down as a 5-yard loss, but looked more just like an attempt to keep the clock running. And with 8 seconds left here in the first half, you think Olathe Northwest will just take a knee, and they will hand it off instead to Dumas, who will go up the middle, cuts left, and he breaks free. And he is inside Olathe North territory, but that is the horn. So Dumas looked like he was maybe going to break a touchdown, but he was brought down at about the 42-yard line. So that will end the first half. Olathe North finds themselves up with a 7-0 lead over Olathe Northwest. We will allow you now to enjoy the performance of the Olathe North Marching Eagles. I am Adam Dravetta. You are listening to high school football coverage on 810 Varsity.
Ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's halftime entertainment, we'd like to present a special stand-still performance of the marching band at Eaglettes. The band will begin tonight's performance with a portion of their competition show entitled Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and will feature the Eaglettes in their dance flag routine. Next, we would like to invite to the field members of the Olathe North Concert Band. They are going to join the marching band tonight in performing the classic hit by the White Stripes, Seven Nation Army.
from here, but yeah, he got transferred for that was back in the 70s.
Let's hear it for the Eagles concert band as they join the marching band this evening. Please stick around after tonight's game as the marching band and Eaglettes will present a special encore performance of their full competition show in preparation for their first competition this weekend. Meanwhile, Eagle fans, it's time to get pumped up for the second half, so get up on your feet for the Olathe North fight song. Once again, stick around after tonight's game for an encore performance of the Screaming Eagle Marching Band and Eaglettes full competition show. Thank you.
Welcome back in from halftime, ladies and gentlemen. I am Adam Drovetta. I want to give a shout out to the Olathe North AV Club. Is that what you call yourselves, the AV Club? Yeah. That's what they called them in high school. I didn't know if they'd changed the name, but Olathe North AV Club helping me out tremendously. They're providing all the audio feed and whatnot, making my job much, much easier. So I wanted to make sure to give them their props because they've done a fantastic job. This is the third game I've done here at Olathe North, and they're always ready to help out and doing a great job, so I appreciate those guys. We're about to start the second half here at ODAC, and the Olathe North Eagles lead the Olathe Northwest Ravens 7-0. The only scoring done was done with 6:37 left in the second half on a 2-yard touchdown run by Javon Parrish. And so North, as I mentioned, finds themselves up 7-0. This game does have quite a bit of playoff implications. Over the past couple years, as I'm sure you know, the 5A and 6A in Kansas have kind of remodeled their playoff system. Everybody does get a playoff game, but how you fare in the regular season will determine your seeding. Right now, Olathe Northwest is projected as the 9 seed. Their record sits at 2-4. Olathe North 3-3, and will do themselves quite a bit of favors toward getting a home playoff game, at least in the first round, if they are able to come away with a win tonight. The Eagles are right now projected as a 6 seed, which would net them a first-round playoff game here at home. First-round playoff game here at home. And there are plenty with this new playoff system. Last year was a perfect example. You look at Gardner Edgerton, they were about a 12 seed or a 13 seed, I believe, with a record of 3-5, but they were all able to get within 1 point of going all the way to the semifinals, nearly upsetting Shawnee Mission East. Shawnee Mission East used a 2-point conversion at the end of that game to pull off the win. But Gardner Edgerton did get a first-round playoff win last year and nearly able to nab another one. And so anything's possible once you get into the playoffs, and if you set yourself up with a home playoff game, you're in that much better position. We've got a little less than a minute here to go before the start of the second half. Olathe Northwest will start the second half with the ball. They really got it going in the first quarter, did the Ravens, but then one drive stalled out at about the Olathe North 6, and when they attempted a field goal, it was blocked, so they came away with no points there. They got back within the red zone and couldn't come up with anything there. So they were inside the red zone a couple different times and came out with no points both times, and so that kind of stalled the Olathe Northwest offense, and they really struggled in the second quarter. So ultimately, no points for the Ravens in the second half, or in the first half. They were hoping to change that here in the second half, as Jacob Large readies himself to send the second half kickoff away here for Olathe North. Back deep to receive is Weston Davis. And Davis will grab that ball at about the 3. He will come forward. He's up to the 15 and the 20. Gets to the 25-yard line, so a little better than what would have been a touchback. Gain about an extra 6 yards or so. I think officially they'll spot 6-yard line where Olathe Northwest will start. Olathe Northwest was getting the ground game going quite a bit in the first quarter with Drew Dumas and John Bauman, but that kind of sputtered out. But then Braden Koch kind of woke up with the passing game. He had a couple great passes, but ultimately no points there in the first half for Olathe Northwest, and the Ravens will try to change that now. Here comes Bauman on the toss, and he gets up forward to about the 27 7-yard line, so gain of only 1.
Game by number 32, John Bauman.
So that brings up 2nd and 9.
Second down.
So I should give credit, as I mentioned, Olathe Northwest did struggle after starting off really well on offense. They struggled there in the second quarter. I should give quite a bit of credit to Olathe North. Their defense really stepped it up. We've got I formation here for Olathe Northwest. And here comes Dumas on the carry. He goes to the left. We got a flag down. He got forward to the 30, but I believe this will be a hold against Olathe Northwest. So that gain will be likely negated. Still waiting on the call here by the head official. It was a face mask against Olathe North and a holding against Olathe Northwest, so they will offset and we will repeat 2nd down. So it was an unintentional face mask. The Olathe North Eagles did have a personal foul face mask in the first half. That one was unintentional, but regardless, it was negated by the Olathe Northwest holding. So they will offset, and we will look at 2nd and 9. Once again, we'll replay the down. Koch lines up under center, I formation again. He will hand it off once again to Dumas. About the same play they just ran. And that gets him about 2 yards. So they'll be up with 3rd and 7 from the 29-yard line. Still not much going on the ground. Bauman and Dumas had a few really terrific runs in the first quarter, but that was shut down much better by the Olathe North defense in the second quarter, and here so far in the third quarter on this drive, they've been able to shut down the Northwest ground attack. Koch takes the snap. He will go back to pass, roll out to his right, and he will heave it long. He's got a man open, and that is caught by Joe Hatsfield all the way down to the Olathe North 38-yard line.
23-yard completion, number 3, Joe Hatsfield.
So Koch to Hatsfeld has been a lethal combination on 2 or 3 different occasions tonight, and once again there. And Olathe Northwest is inside the Eagles' territory, down to the 38-yard line. Great rollout and pass there by Koch, and he had Hatsfeld wide open. Good pass there by Joe Hatsfeld. Another pass here coming by Koch, and that one is caught. And that will be enough for a 1st down. Down to the 26-yard line. So just as I mentioned, Olathe North was able to shut down the Olathe Northwest ground game, but now looks like the air attack is picking up a little bit as Dylan Koch is in, or I beg your pardon, Braden Koch is in shotgun formation. He has twins wide to the right, one man wide to the left, and he will go back to pass again, and he will sail it across the middle, and that will be caught and brought down by number 89, Jack Parks. And Parks gets it up to the 21-yard line, a gain of about 5, so we'll have 2nd and 5 here for Olathe Northwest. Trips left here for Olathe Northwest. Dumas in the backfield joining Koch, and Dumas will keep it himself, or will take it from Koch, and he will get the handoff and get forward to the 19-yard line, beg your pardon, the 14-yard line. So Dumas with a great run, and now Olathe Northwest finds themselves inside the 15-yard line in the red zone. And 1st and 10 here from the 14. Got trips wide to the right once again. And here comes a pass, and that will go again to Hatsfield. He's inside the 10 on the pass from Braden Koch, and he gets to, it looks like the 9-yard line. So they'll have 2nd and 5 here from the 9. So Northwest getting their pass attack going. And we'll see what they're able to do. The last time they were this deep into Olathe North territory, it ended in a blocked field goal. So we'll see if they're able to put some points on the board here. Shotgun formation once again for Braden Koch. Koch will keep it himself on a quarterback draw up the middle, and he is hit and brought down at the 6-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd and 2. So a crucial 3rd down here on Olathe Northwest's first drive of the second half. Trips wide again. Koch will keep it himself, and he is forward. He's short of the first down, so that will bring up 4th and 1 from the 5-yard line.
Tackle was made by number 20, Javon Parrish. Brings the 4th down for Olathe Northwest.
Olathe Northwest will call a timeout to discuss what it is they would like to do. Here, a big call. Olathe North leads this game 7-0, but Olathe Northwest has their best chance to score since the first quarter. They were this deep into Olathe North territory then, but wound up having to settle for a field goal, which was blocked. And so no points still for Olathe Northwest, and I know they would love to get a touchdown out of this one. Check some scores during this timeout. Elsewhere in Kansas tonight, Shawnee Mission East is leading Lawrence 42-34. Shawnee Mission Northwest beating Shawnee Mission North 42-6. Blue Valley leads Blue Valley Northwest 28-3. You can get all those scores and highlights and recaps on 810varsity.com. Here, Olathe Northwest lining up for a crucial 4th and 1. Koch under center. He surveys the Olathe North defense, and in the backfield with him is Bauman and Dumas, and now they will huddle up. About 18, now 17 seconds here on the play clock. And sweep around the right side, and it looks like Koch, well, it depends on the spot. He got forward. He needed just about a half yard, and I think they're going to measure it. Depends on the spot. So here comes the measuring crew. He was short of the 4, but I don't think he needed all the way to the 4-yard line. So a bit of a sweep to the right was the play. He had Bauman and Dumas in there blocking for him. Did Braden Koch. And here comes the chain, and that is short. So Olathe North gets another great stop inside their own 10-yard line. The last time was in the first quarter, which resulted in a blocked field goal. This one is a turnover on down. So Olathe Northwest has had 2 trips inside the Olathe North 10-yard line and come away with 0 points. And Olathe North will start with their first possession of the second half. We're just over 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Zach Krause is joined in the backfield by Dayton Jackson and Arlen Bruce. Bruce will get the handoff. He cuts left and gets forward to the 10-yard line after he breaks a tackle, and they'll spot it at the 11. So it looked like Arlen Bruce was going to be stopped for about a 1-yard gain, and ultimately wound up with a 6-yard gain up to the 11-yard line. So good effort there by Arlen Bruce the fourth, the Olathe North freshman. 2nd and 4 here coming for Olathe North. They need the 10-yard line for the first down. Bruce gets the handoff once again, and he will be met pretty quickly. That was Jake Wolf on the tackle, and I'm not sure if Bruce, he did get just enough for the first down. He got to the 10-yard line, so 4-yard gain there by Arlen Bruce. So good running there by the Olathe North freshman. Zach Krause gets the play call from the sideline. He'll take the shotgun snap, hand it off again to Arlen Bruce. Bruce cuts around the right side, and he is tackled in the backfield. Looks like he lost about 2, so that'll bring it up 2nd and 12.
Run by number 43, Arlen Bruce. Tackle was made by number 3, Joe Hatzfeld.
Joe Hatzfeld, who had that terrific catch on the previous Olathe Northwest offensive drive, got the tackle there of Arlen Bruce in the backfield. And the Eagles now facing 2nd and 12. Krause will pass it, and he has overthrew him.
Incomplete pass.
Damon Sanchez had his man beat by about a step and a half, but Krause just overthrew him, and Sanchez probably, it would have been tough to bring down and may have even scored there if that pass was completed. But instead, it brings up a 3rd and 12 here for Olathe North. And if the Ravens can get a stop here, they'll be in good business with some decent field position if they are able to force Olathe North to punt. Back to pass is Krause, and he will now roll to his right and complete a pass to Bruce, but that will be short of the first down. They got to the 20. They needed the 25. So that will bring up 4th and 5 here for Olathe North, and the Eagles are forced to punt.
Tackle was made by number 3, Joe Hatzfeld. Brings the 4th down for Olathe North.
Looks like a Northwest has 2 returners. Hatzfeld joins Weston Davis to return the punt, and that is an end-over-end punt. Hatzfeld will fair catch at the 40-yard line, so decent field position here for Olathe Northwest. They will start at their own 40-yard line.
First down, Olathe Northwest.
Under 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Olathe North leads Olathe Northwest 7-0. Low-scoring game. The difference in the game so far was a turnover in the 2nd quarter that set Olathe North up with good field position. They were able to convert for a touchdown a few plays later. So they lead Olathe Northwest 7-0 here as Braden Koch takes the shotgun snap, and here comes Dumas, and he gets forward. Use his strong running night. This will bring up 2nd and 4 here for Olathe Northwest.
Javon Parrish. 2nd down, Olathe Northwest.
Trips to the right, and 1 man wide to the left. Dumas will get the handoff again, and he will fight for about 2 yards, so that will bring up 3rd and 2 from the 48-yard line. Olathe Northwest needs the 50-yard line for the first down, so they're facing, let's see, I mean, in a 7-0 game, every 3rd down is crucial, it seems, especially when you get this late in the season and you're playing for playoff seeding. Braden Koch readies himself. He'll take a quarterback draw right up the middle. Looks like he got just enough for the first down. And they are saying they're signaling to move the chains, so that is a first down for Olathe Northwest, and they are just barely inside Olathe North territory.
First down, Olathe Northwest.
In between the 49 and 50-yard lines. Here comes a pass from Koch, and he looks long, and that ball was caught but out of bounds.
Incomplete pass.
Looked like it was intended for Hatzfeld, and he was able to bring it down with the catch, but he was forced out of bounds by Javon Parrish. A great play there by Parrish. Parrish had, I believe, the only touchdown. He had the fumble recovery and the touchdown for Olathe North in the first half, so Javon Parrish has been all over the place this evening for Olathe North, and now 2nd down and 10 to go for Olathe Northwest. Back to pass again is Koch, and now he will throw it forward. That'll be enough for a first down. Looked like he got it to Cole Manning for about an 11-yard gain to the 38-yard line. So 1st and 10, a fresh set of downs here for the Ravens from the 38-yard line. They're once again inside Olathe North territory. Seven to nothing lead here for the Eagles. And joining Koch in the backfield is John Bauman, and Bauman will take that handoff. He cuts to the left and is undercut for about a half yard, maybe a full yard, but nonetheless it will bring up 2nd and long here for Olathe Northwest.
Olathe Northwest.
Shotgun formation with split backs. Bauman and Dumas both in, and now here comes Koch to pass, rolls out to his right, and across the middle he finds, it is dropped. Incomplete to Weston Davis. He had Weston Davis for what would have been about an 8-yard gain, but it was dropped, and that brings up 3rd and long. 3rd and about 10 here for Olathe Northwest. Trips to the right side here for Olathe Northwest. Here comes a pass from Koch, and he will now tuck it, and he has Hatzfeld down the field, but it's picked off. Oh, it was dropped.
Incomplete pass. Intended by number 3. Play was broken up by number 26, Devin Stoker.
Devin Stoker looked like he had a pick, but it was dropped. Nonetheless, it will force a 4th down and 10 to go. It's like Braden Koch is injured. Wasn't sure there was a lot of activity going on over the Olathe Northwest sideline and wasn't sure what was going on. But Koch was down on the field, and we hope he's okay. He's had a good night so far passing. Olathe Northwest, I beg your pardon, will punt it. And Demond Sanchez is back to receive the punt. So Northwest will take a look at their starting quarterback. We'll see if he's able to return. But in the meantime, here comes a drop snap and a punt that goes straight up into the air and just rolls forward for a net gain of 0. Olathe Northwest will start with the ball at the 38-yard line. So the snap was low at the feet of the punter, and he was able to get it away, but went straight up in the air, bounced and rolled forward, but ultimately it will result in a net punt yardage of 0, and Olathe Northwest will start. Kraus joined in the backfield by Arlen Bruce. Bruce will get it's a play action fake. Kraus sends it long, and he overthrows Damon Sanchez. Sanchez was open and had a clear path to the end zone. Was if he was able to bring that pass in, but he was overthrown by about 2 yards, so Kraus just unable to connect. It was a great setup on the play action. Arlen Bruce has had a terrific night running, and so Olathe Northwest has to respect every time it looks like he's about to get the ball. Kraus pulled it back on the play action fake and had Sanchez wide open, but was unable to connect, and that brings up 2nd and 10 here for the Eagles. 4 wide on either, 2 on either side. Bruce in the backfield with Kraus. Kraus will once again on a play action. He will send it long, and he had Stoker, and Stoker dropped it.
Incomplete pass. Incomplete number 26, Devin Stoker.
That would have also been a touchdown, and Stoker was unable to handle it. It was looked like placed really well. The previous pass was overthrown, but now here's a roughing the passer call on Olathe Northwest, so that will get a first down for Olathe North regardless. That pass was placed pretty well, but Stoker just unable to handle it. But nonetheless, that was the call was a west, and so Olathe North does get a first down, and now they're inside Raven territory to the 47. Play action pass again. Kraus will send that one over to the side to Ivan Avila, and that pass is complete.
6-yard gain, number 12, Ivan Avila.
And that will bring up about 2nd and 4 on a 6-yard gain.
Brings the 2nd down for Olathe North.
Kraus has 4 wide. He's joined in the backfield by Arlen Bruce. Bruce will take that handoff. He'll get up the middle near a first down. Looks like they'll spot him a yard short to the 38-yard line. And we have an injured player for Olathe Northwest. Can't quite tell who it is. It's favoring his right arm is what he appear to be looking at now. That is number 91 for Olathe Northwest, Jake England. England is able to walk off. Looks like they're looking at his arm, so we hope the best for Jake England, the Olathe Northwest senior. Meanwhile, on the field, we have a 3rd and 1 for Olathe North. Kraus is joined in the backfield by Arlen Bruce and Dayton Jackson. Bruce will take the handoff, and he will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage, so that will bring up 4th down.
Run by number 43, Arlen Bruce. Stop was made by number 16, Cole Manning.
So good defensive stand there for Olathe Northwest, and we'll see what the Eagles choose to do. Looks like they're going to bring in Javon Parrish in the Wildcat formation, so it looks like they'll be going for it. Parrish scored a touchdown on a play similar to this earlier, and he has plenty enough for the first down up to the Olathe Northwest 34-yard line, so enough for a first down. Javon Parrish converts on 4th down, and Kraus comes back into the quarterback spot, and he will have 1st and 10 at the 2 wide to the left side, 1 wide to the right. Bruce will take the handoff right up the middle, and he is still on his feet inside the 25, wrestled down at about the 22-yard line.
That 12-yard gain by number 43, Arlen Bruce, is good for Olathe North.
First down, Olathe North to the 22-yard line. Arlen Bruce is one of Arlen Bruce's best runs of the night. Here comes a pass from Kraus, and that will be to Ivan Avila, and that will get to about the 16-yard line, so a gain of 6, brings up 2nd and 4.
6-yard completion, number 12.
Little screen pass there.
Tackle was made by number 89.
And had a few good blockers ahead of him, did Avila, and he was able to snag 6 yards on that play. Kraus has 2 wide. He will keep it himself to the left, cuts around the corner, and bowls his way forward to about the 15. And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter.
Tackle was made by number 3, Joe Haskell.
So Olathe North will take a 7-0 lead in the into the 4th quarter. They are driving. When we come back, Olathe North will have 3rd and 3 from the Olathe Northwest 15. The Eagles lead the Ravens 7-0. You're listening to high school football coverage on 810varsity.com. Third and 3 from the Olathe Northwest 15-yard line. Kraus will hand it off there to Bruce. Bruce up the middle and still on his feet inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. So the freshman, Arlen Bruce IV, is having a terrific night rushing the ball for Olathe North. That will set up 1st and goal here for Olathe North from the 7-yard line. And points have really been at a premium so far tonight. The only scoring done in the 2nd quarter on an Olathe North touchdown. So if they were able to get up 14-0, make this a 2-touchdown game, that would be huge. Here comes another handoff to Bruce. Gets inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. So that will bring up 2nd and goal.
3-yard gain by number 43, Arlen Bruce. Tackle was made by number 72.
And it looks like Javon Parrish will come into that Wildcat formation as Zach Kraus comes off to the sideline. Parrish has kept it each instance they've been in this formation. So to Bruce, who joins him in the backfield, or if he keeps it himself. And he will give it off to, no, beg your pardon, he will keep it himself and get in for a touchdown. But there is a flag. So not sure if that touchdown, one ref signaled touchdown, but there was a flag, so we'll see what that's all about. It will be an illegal formation and cost Olathe North 5 yards and bring them back to about the 9-yard line. So they'll face 2nd and goal from the 9. Parrish was able to get in the end. Flag. And it looks like a similar formation here. Sanchez is flanked, and Damon Sanchez will take the handoff and get around the right side, and he is brought down at the 6. So Parrish wasn't lined up in quarterback, and he handed it off to Damon Sanchez, who got forward to the 6. So 3rd and goal here for Olathe North.
3rd down for Olathe North.
Play clock down to 5 now. As Parrish takes the handoff and cuts up the middle, there's a flag down. Parrish gets into the end zone for a touchdown. We'll see what the flag is about. Parrish had to fight for that touchdown. It looked like he was going to get brought down at the 1, but he was able to crawl into the end zone. We'll see what the flag is.
Illegal formation.
Another illegal formation on Olathe North.
Replay third down.
So Parrish has gotten into the end zone twice on this drive. Unfortunately, both times it was negated by an illegal formation, and this now brings up 3rd and goal from the 11. Olathe North finds themselves up 7-0, and it was a similar situation. It was a goal-to-go situation for Olathe North when they brought in Javon Parrish in the Wildcat formation in the second quarter, and he's able to scoot in for a touchdown to put Olathe North up 7-0, which is the score now. Unfortunately, both times he's gotten into the end zone in this most recent set of downs, it has been negated by an illegal procedure call. They will keep Javon Parrish in at quarterback. So we'll see what the play call is. They're in the right hash are the Eagles. Third and goal from the 11. Parrish will once again keep it himself. He is up the middle and in for the touchdown. No flags on the field this time. Javon Parrish credited with his second touchdown of the evening, and Olathe North leads it 13-0 with the extra point coming. Jacob Large back for the extra point. That extra point is up, and it is good. So Olathe North now leads it 14-0 with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Olathe Northwest. Large now lined up to kick it away. Very important offensive drive here coming for the Olathe Northwest Ravens as Weston Davis, the Raven Jr., readies himself to receive the kickoff.
Olathe North fans, let's get on our feet for the kickoff.
There goes the kick end over end, and Weston Davis will grab it about the 13-yard line and move forward, and he is up to the 30, cuts it back. He's on the sideline. He's to the 50, to the 40, to the 30. Weston Davis will score an Olathe Northwest touchdown, and that is just what the Ravens needed to get back in this game.
Penalty flag on the play.
Oh, and there is a penalty flag. Did not see it come out, so Weston Davis's effort may have been for nothing. We'll see what the flag is all about. It is a holding. So just when you thought Olathe Northwest had some momentum, a flag brings it back. And that will be a really, really tough penalty as Weston Davis was on his way for a touchdown, but instead Olathe Northwest will have to start back at their own 21-yard line. On the previous drive, quarterback Braden Koch did leave the field with an injury. We'll see if he's back in, and he is, so you're happy to see that. So whatever injury it was not very serious. So Koch lines up in shotgun formation. He's got Dumas with him in the backfield, and now he will roll out to his right and now fire it forward. Was that picked off or was it out of bounds? Incomplete pass. It was out of bounds. Looked like for a moment like it could have been picked off by Parrish, but it went out of bounds. It was first. The Northwest. And the refs are discussing right now. Koch may have been in front of the line of scrimmage when he passed it, and that is the call. He was in front of the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. It looked like he was going to take off for a scramble, and ultimately they lost. So that will bring him back to the 14-yard line. So that will be 2nd and 14 here for Olathe Northwest. Olathe Northwest calls a timeout.
Timeout.
I believe they noticed that they had 12 men on the field, so they had to call a timeout. Some miscommunication, and that's really not what you need now. Olathe Northwest finds themselves down 14-0 with 9:38 left here in the fourth quarter. So North is able to hold Northwest here. You would think that would go a long, long ways in putting this game away. Olathe Northwest is not on the board, gotten on the board yet. They've gotten inside the 10 on 2 different occasions, but came away with no points. The first time was a blocked field goal in the first quarter, and then in the third quarter, Olathe Northwest had turnover on downs. So now here they are looking at 2nd and 14 to go. Koch will take the pass, and he will send it across the field on a pass that was intended for
number 16.
Manning, but it fell incomplete. 3rd and 14 to go here for Olathe Northwest. Big third down here for Olathe Northwest. Too wide to the left here for Olathe Northwest. And here comes a pass and hit immediately. And will they call that a fumble? They will. That's Olathe North ball. So the pass was over to Dumas, and he was hit and fumbled immediately. And it was recovered by Olathe North, and they really have a chance here to put the game out of reach, as they will start with 1st and 10 from the Olathe Northwest 12-yard line. Beg your pardon, the 11-yard line. And here comes quarterback Zach Krause. He's joined in the backfield by Arlen Bruce. Bruce will take the handoff to the right. He'll fight forward for a couple of yards.
Two-yard gain by number 43, Arlen Bruce.
2nd and 8 here for Olathe North. Kraus in the shotgun formation. He will hand it off to Damon Sanchez. Sanchez gets forward to about the 7 or 8 yard line. So that brings up third. And about 6 to go. Clock keeps running. We're under 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Olathe North leading 14-0. Handoff once again to Sanchez. Sanchez cuts back toward the middle, and he gets forward to the 4. And that brings up 4th and 2. And here comes Javon Parrish. Looks like they'll run a little bit of that Wildcat formation as Zach Kraus leaves the field. And that will be kept by Parrish, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Olathe North.
That's a 4-yard run.
Javon Parrish gets his 3rd touchdown of the night, and the Eagles are up 20-0 with 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Jacob Large in for the extra point. And that extra point is up, and it is good. So 21-0, Olathe North leads Olathe Northwest, and Northwest really in dire straits now after that last touchdown. Fourth quarter, you're listening to high school football coverage on 810varsity.com. Welcome back into Olathe District Activity Center. I am Adam Drovetta. Olathe North leading Olathe Northwest 21-0. It was 7-0 from the second quarter on. And then with 10 minutes left here in the fourth, Javon Parrish went in for an 11-yard touchdown to make it 14-0. And just recently, with 7.5 left, Parrish got a 4-yard touchdown to make it 21-0. So a lot more scoring done here by North in the fourth quarter, and none so far for Olathe Northwest, as they will take that kickoff to the 26-yard line, and they will start there with 1st and 10. So if you're Olathe Northwest, you really need a quick score. Down 14-0, it looked like they answered with a very quick score when Weston Davis took the kickoff all the way into the end zone, but it was negated by a holding penalty, which really stifled the momentum of Olathe Northwest. And then they turned it over to give Olathe North terrific field position, and that drive was topped by Javon Parrish's 3rd touchdown of the evening. Now here comes Koch with a pass, and he will break out of one sack attempt, and he will now send it long, and that is almost picked off.
Incomplete pass.
Javon Parrish would have been his first interception of the evening. He did recover a fumble earlier, but he dropped that one, but it does set up 2nd and 10 here for Olathe Northwest. Koch will roll out to his right, look to pass, and he will be almost sacked, but he gets it away, and that one is picked. Olathe North finally brings down an interception. That one was by Devin Stoker. Olathe North had chances for interceptions about 3 or 4 different occasions, and that one is hauled in by Devin Stoker. The second Olathe Northwest turnover of the night, and Olathe North will start with the ball at their own 47-yard line. Zach Kraus joined in the backfield by Damon Sanchez. Sanchez will not get the handoff. Kraus kept it himself. It was a fake handoff. Kraus around to the left side, gets about 7 yards into Olathe Northwest territory.
7-yard run by number 11, Zach Kraus.
Up to the 46-yard line of Olathe Northwest. And Olathe North just probably going to continue running it as much as they can to keep this clock running. The Eagles up 21-0 over the Ravens as we approach 6.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Kraus hands it off once again to Sanchez. He is met almost immediately. There is a flag down. Gain of about a yard for Damon Sanchez. But we'll see what the flag is about. It was a vicious hit at the line of scrimmage. And it was when that hit was made that they threw out the flag, but it could be holding against Olathe North. And that is indeed what it will be, so the Eagles will lose 10 yards on that play.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
So that sets up second and about 11 for Olathe North. Arlen Bruce back in the backfield now, joining quarterback Zach Kraus, who's in the shotgun formation. He'll take the snap at about the 40 and hand it off to Bruce. Nope, play action fake. He'll go back to pass, and now he'll tuck it and keep it himself. Looks like he tried to slide to keep himself in bounds, and I think that will be a personal foul late hit on Olathe Northwest as you see the flag come out.
Personal foul, defense, 15-yard penalty.
That'll be an automatic first down there for Olathe North after the personal foul penalty against the Ravens. That gets it to the 37-yard line as we're now under 6 minutes to go. And Damon Sanchez will take that handoff, and he'll get forward for about a yard. 2nd and 9, but more importantly for the cause of Olathe North, that keeps the clock running. Olathe North does run with a no huddle, but you would think the smart thing to do would bleed as much clock as you can, or perhaps they're going to try to keep momentum going. Now we're under 10 seconds here on the play clock. Here comes a pass from Kraus, and that falls incomplete. It was intended for Damon Sanchez.
Number 22, Damon Sanchez.
So that brings up 3rd and 9. Interesting decision to pass there as it did stop the clock on the incompletion. Zach Kraus will pass it once again, and that is tipped and blocked at the line of scrimmage. Falls incomplete, brings up 4th and 9.
Brings up 4th down for Olathe North.
And into punt is Mason Myers for Olathe North. Weston Davis will head back to receive the punt. Punt away, and fair catch made by Weston Davis at the 8-yard line where Olathe Northwest will start.
Number 2, Weston Davis. First down, Olathe Northwest.
So Olathe Northwest has 92 yards to go to get into the end zone, and they find themselves down 21-0 with 5:07 left in this game. With the win tonight, Olathe North will move to 4-3 and really put themselves in a great position to host a first-round playoff game. Olathe Northwest at 2-4, they'll fall to 2-5 with a loss, and right now they stand at the 9 seed, which would be a
Game by number 34.
road game in the first round of the playoffs, and they'll likely fall below the 9 line. So Olathe Northwest probably assured of a road game in the first round of the playoffs, whereas Olathe North with a win could do a lot to put a stranglehold on hosting at least one playoff game. Bauman there on the run. He lost a yard, so Olathe Northwest really not playing with much intensity right now. Or should I say not much urgency, I guess is the better word. As we hit 4 minutes to go in the game, and Olathe Northwest just running the ball. Down 21-0. Maybe they're just trying to kind of save their bodies for next week. As Braden Koch is back to pass, sends it long and way overthrows his intended receiver, who was Cole Manning. Manning was looking for a flag for pass interference, but it was very uncatchable. And if anything, it looked like Cole Manning initiated the contact. Damon Sanchez back to receive the punt for Olathe North, and it is sent away. Spiraling punt will fall and bounce, and Sanchez will let it go, and it will roll to about the 46-yard line where it will be picked up by Olathe Northwest. So Olathe North can probably bleed out the clock. Olathe Northwest has only one timeout, so Olathe North could, as I mentioned, probably bleed out the clock as we approach 3.5 minutes to go here in this game. Eagles leading the Ravens 21-0. Kraus hands it off there to Damon Sanchez, who will cut up the middle. He will get just inside Raven territory to the 49. And here comes a flag, maybe a little extracurricular activity after the play. Officials discussing what the penalty might be.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense.
Personal foul against Olathe Northwest. So after the play, so you give the run to Damon Sanchez and tack on another 15 yards after that. And that will put the Eagles even deeper into Northwest territory and give them a free first down. And they will have 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line of Olathe Northwest. Zach Kraus back in shotgun formation. He's joined in the backfield by Sanchez, who will get the handoff. He will cut left, and you want him to stay in bounds, and he will. He got to the sideline, and oh no, they will say he was forced out of bounds. He started toward that sideline. It looked like he was going to try to cut back toward the middle and stay in bounds, but he was unsuccessful, so that does stop the clock and gains about 4 yards for Olathe North.
Hot dogs and dollar Polish dogs, as well as $2 nachos. And students, we approach you in the game. They're going to call your rides home. And folks, remember the Screaming Eagle Marching Band and Eaglettes will be performing their halftime show at the conclusion of tonight's game.
And the officials are discussing something in the field with a couple of Olathe North players. It's a huddle of 3 officials, and 1 Olathe North player and 1 Olathe Northwest player, so I'm not sure if they're just kind of saying, hey guys, cut out the little extracurricular after the play activity, giving a bit of a warning. Not sure what all that's about. But now here comes Olathe North ready to start with 2nd and 6. Kraus looks back to receive the play call from the sideline. He's got Damon Sanchez right behind him. And here comes the snap and the handoff to Damon Sanchez, who cuts back. Is able to stay in bounds that time. Falls forward to the 29-yard line as we go under 3 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. That will bring up 3rd and 3.
3rd down, Olathe North.
So a first down here for Olathe North will basically seal it, as we now have 2:23, 2:22, and counting here in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 3 here for the Eagles from the 29. Kept there by Kraus, and he will roll out to his left. He looked to pass initially, but now he's keeping it, and he looked like he took a knee. He was trying to get some leverage outside and didn't want to go out of bounds. Instead, just took a knee, so that keeps the clock running, but it lost a yard. So now 4th and 4, 4th and 3 here for Olathe North, as we are at 1:40 to go, and in comes Javon Parrish. So Parrish comes in for that Wildcat formation. They need 3 yards. 3, 2, and 1. And that will run out the play clock. So this will be a delay of game unless Olathe North was able to get a timeout in. And it looks like they were. So timeout Olathe North prior to the play clock expiring. So the clock is still running. They're going to need to reset the clock because we're now at 55 seconds. It was still running. It should be at about 1:05 to go. And the refs haven't noticed. Not sure any of the coaches have either.
Please put 1:13 on the clock.
They'll put 1:13 now on the clock as it kept running.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to please stick around at the end of tonight's contest for your Screaming Eagle Marching Band and Eaglet's full halftime performance.
Minute 13 to go. Olathe North will just need a timeout, or I beg your pardon, a first down, and they will be able to kneel it out after that. They're looking at 4th and 3 from the Olathe Northwest 29-yard line. Javon Parrish in at the quarterback spot, and he is flanked to his right by Arlen Bruce. And that ball is fumbled and picked up by Olathe Northwest at about the 31. So Olathe Northwest will take over after the fumble recovery. Won't mean much, though. Olathe North leading 21-0. There's only a minute 8 left here in the game. Shotgun formation here for Braden Koch. And he looks long, and he will find a receiver. Not quite sure who that was on the other side of the field. That was Weston Davis. And a gain of only about 8, so that keeps the clock running as it was short of the first down. And we're at 50 seconds to go.
Second down, Olathe Northwest.
Handed off there to Dumas, and he will get forward for a first down up to about the 46-yard line. He has had a terrific night on the ground.
Drew Dumas brings the first down for Olathe Northwest.
So 1st and 10 from the 46 here for Olathe Northwest as we are under 30 seconds to go here in the game. Olathe North up 21-0. Back to pass is Braden Koch. He will heave it, and that will be just out of the reach of Joe Hatzfeld. And Hatzfeld is down, 2 players down. Hatzfeld for Olathe Northwest, and Javon Parrish is down for Olathe North. And Parrish is helped to his feet by his teammate Devin Stoker, but Hatzfeld remains on the ground, and you hope it's nothing serious as we're at 15 seconds left in the game. Hatzfeld is sitting upright talking to the trainer. Not sure if he landed a little hard on that turf. As Olathe Northwest head coach Chip Sherman comes out to check on him. And now Hatzfeld is to his feet, which is a very positive sight. And he will be helped off the field by the Olathe Northwest trainer and Chip Sherman. He's got his arms over the shoulder of each one, and he will gingerly move toward the sideline. He's on the other side of the field, so it will take a moment, but we hope he takes all the time he needs. We hope that's not a serious injury there for Olathe Northwest senior Joe Hatzfeld. In the meantime, what this game will mean for each team, Olathe Northwest will fall to 2-5 and probably drop off the 9 line in the 6A playoff bracket, and that will likely mean a road game for the Ravens in the first round of the playoffs. The Eagles will move to 4-3 and put themselves in a great position to secure a first-round game here at home in the first round of the playoffs. If they're able to, certainly if they're able to pull off a win next week, but a win tonight might even do it for them. They're right now looking at a 6 seed, which 6 seed in the playoffs would host a first-round game. So we'll see if Olathe North can finish off their season next week with a win. And here comes a handoff to Dumas, who gets forward to the 50, and that should be the final play of the game. And it will. So your final will be Olathe North 21, Olathe Northwest nothing. Javon Parrish with all 3 touchdowns for the Eagles as the Eagles move to 4-3 on the year. Olathe Northwest falls to 2-5. Thank you so much for joining us for high school football coverage on 810varsity.com.